How's it going, everybody? I'm Lee, and you're watching the Tall Tesla Guy. So, if you're new here, think about subscribing. We put down videos at least once a week, if not twice a week, and we talk about everything from tech to lifestyle, DIY, and certainly Tesla, which is what we're going to be talking about today. So, hit that like button. Why not? And also, if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for watching. Thanks for engaging. Thanks for subscribing. Really appreciate your support. Never could have done it without you. And as always, it's been fantastic. It's been a fantastic ride so far. I can't wait to see where we go from here. So thank you so much. But let's get started today. So what we're going to talk about today, Tesla's been in the news almost nonstop. And I'm going to go ahead and drive while we're doing this, so we can talk about some, some of the stuff while we drive, I guess. Tesla's been in the news a lot lately. Some of it good, fantastic cars. They're meeting their projections. Model Y is outselling the Model 3, which was an amazing vehicle to start with. Drop in price on the Model S to $69,420. Little silly, but I get his humor. I understand where he's coming from there. And then also, some of the negative stuff, of course. I mean, just the panoramic glass roof flying off. Never a good thing. Never a good thing. Door smashing or breaking in garages, stuff like that. I mean, I've seen all that stuff. All in all, and like I've said on my other videos, we love everything about this car. Everything's been fantastic for us. We've had a fantastic experience moving forward. And we actually can parallel that to our friends who have a Model 3, and they've had theirs for 2 years, and they're having a fantastic experience. They love the car. In fact, they talked about buying another one after this one or whatever it is. So, we're benchmarking off of that, and ours has been no different. We love it. We love the vehicle, love the drive, everything like that. So, one of the things that they're kind of talking about, and Elon keeps mentioning it, and he mentioned it years ago, a 7-seater Model Y, right? It seems a little crazy to me, just as far as this, where's the space going to come from? I'm going to take a look and sit in the back and see if I would fit in there. As you guys know, I'm average heighted at 6'5", so it might be a little bit of a stretch for me. I mean, I could think that they would do it for, I don't know, kids, I guess. My wife and I were talking this morning about it. I mean, we loved as kids riding facing the other way. My parents had an old Camry, and it had 2 seats facing backwards, and we loved sitting back there. It was fantastic. It was like a spaceship going in a different way, and this is a Toyota Camry, so safety was always a concern, I'm sure. But nonetheless, I mean, it was facing back there. I could see the advantage and the draw to it. I know in the Model X, the seat's way in the back. I know kids love sitting back there, so it wouldn't surprise me that they do. I think it'll be a little bit tricky with the space. We're going to talk a little bit about that, and I want to show you some imagery of that too once I stop. Trying to get back to is the highway. I keep hitting every single traffic light, which brings me to a point that I kind of thought about for a bit there. Somebody talked about, kind of a withdrawal. Now, if you guys haven't already, there's tons and tons of, groups on Facebook, as you guys probably know, I'm sure. I was pretty new to the groups. I just never had any desire to do any of that stuff. But they have 2 of them on there, being a Model Y enthusiast and then the Tesla Model Y group. And it's fantastic. They're full of people that are really positive about it, or, have genuine concerns and, DIY fixes for stuff, which is just great. And then they also have, just comments and thoughts, and, it's a good interaction, community interaction. But I mean, it's nice to be able to connect to people and then share shared interests. I do like the group, and I think it's great, and it's a great way to find out, if you get a Tesla or you're thinking about getting a Tesla, finding out, from people that own it, positive experiences they had, negative experiences they had, how they worked around things, how they got through service appointments, what to expect, that sort of thing. So I've found it to be a great resource for stuff in general, and just kind of talking with people, which is just great. So it, something to kind of think about or consider. But the Model Y 7-seater, or that. And then one of the things that somebody brought up was like, hey, do you miss driving it when you're not driving it? There was a commercial years ago about this Can-Am Roadster motorcycle 3-wheel thing that said if one thing you miss when you stop is not driving it, or something silly like that. I thought to myself, that's just ridiculous. It's just a car. But I will say, though, driving this vehicle versus my other vehicle, the enjoyment is here in this versus just a regular standard car, I guess. I mean, outside of the technology stuff, because that's neat, but you can't, it's not like you're playing, watching Netflix while you're driving or anything like that. That's not safe. So this is just the driving experience, the comfort of it. It's just amazing how quickly you can get out there and get in front of people and, you know, the acceleration, just all that. This is without the acceleration boost. Now, we didn't pay for the acceleration boost upgrade. We also didn't pay for the enhanced autopilot. We just have the regular autopilot, but it's great. Now, the only downside is that every time you change lanes or lose, you know, disengage the autopilot, you do have to re-engage it again. But really, I mean, if that's the worst thing that happens when the car is driving for you, I'll take it. I'll take it every day. Now, we are planning a long road trip coming up soon. We have a couple of kind of intermediate road trips planned, so it would be great to see how that works and then how it works for us anyway. But I mean, you know, the kind of real draw to it is you lose some driver fatigue, which is nice. It goes into cruise control, which is great for your speed, but then it also keeps you in your lane and keeps you from hitting anybody, and it'll steer for you. So as the lane kind of goes around a corner, the car will actually steer for you, which is super nice. It also reads the speed limit signs, which initially it sounded like it came in an update, an over-there update. It sounded initially like, I mean, I don't know, we had a car years ago that would display the speed limit sign or display the sign on the dashboard in front of you, and, you know, stuff like, or put it on the infotainment system, stuff like that. So that part is not new. It's not the fact that it can, you know, kind of grab an image of it and put it in your car. It's that it can read the sign. I mean, that's the biggest thing. It's the, you know, augmented reality, I guess, that it can look at the sign, know what it says, and then adjust your speed to accommodate. So what it'll do is it'll look at it, it's 45 here now, 55, it goes up to 70, it'll automatically readjust the cruise control, if you're on cruise control, or at least your preset speed, to the, you know, 8 miles over the actual speed limit in that particular space, which is nice. Our other car has, you know, navigation maps that, you know, tell you the speed limit, but if they're not up to date, you might not have an up-to-date speed limit. It's, you know, one of the super neat things is as they change the speed limit signs, it will change your automatic cruise control update. You know, you can preset the distance, how close you want to go to them by toggling the right toggle to the right or the left. It gives you 1 or 2 spaces. I usually keep myself 2 because I'm old-fashioned, I guess. And then obviously adjusting your speed. Every once in a while, it'll tell you to put your hands on the steering wheel. You can either squeeze the steering wheel, you can move it just slightly, not enough to disengage the autopilot, but enough to, you know, kind of move it around, or you can roll the wheel up or down, and that will also, you know, act as an indicator that you're actually there. Now, there's a camera, a tiny little camera up here that Elon Musk said is going to be something to help visualize the cabin for the car. People were worried that the car is going to be watching us. That's not the case. The car is not going to be watching you in a sense of what you're thinking, like privacy, creepy things. If you have it in autopilot, it just affirms to the vehicle that you are awake and alert. Now, if you were to pass out in the car, it'll give you those warnings saying, hey, you got to touch the steering wheel. It'll also say, you know, and then it'll vibrate, it'll go in blue, red, and then it'll put you in what's called autopilot jail, in which case it will not let you use autopilot until you stop the car and start it again. It does alert me to stuff that's around me. It keeps you pretty centered in the lane. The only downside is I don't have the enhanced autopilot, which if I did, when I put the blinker on, it would try to take over the car that's next to me. Since I don't, you hear that little chime in there, and that's actually the car taking over, saying that I'm taking over the steering. But it does keep in the cruise control, which is nice. You don't have to do that part of it. And I have my exits coming up here, so I'm not going to go to another one. Getting off here again, it is following the car in front of me, which is kind of nice. I have my hands on the steering wheel, so I'm actually steering this, but it you know, prevents me from hitting it. Now, the enhanced autopilot, when you put the blinker on, as you're coming up to an exit, it'll actually slow you down too. It'll also stop at stop signs, stop at red lights, that sort of thing. We don't have it yet. I mean, we're considering it. The price tag was a little steep, I thought, initially, but they're also talking about coming out with a subscription plan. And right now we're both working from home. So if we were to buy the enhanced autopilot, essentially we'd be buying it for just to, you know, kind of have. And we would use it sort of, but not to the extent that you would want to use it. So it didn't seem like it was super beneficial for us yet, but we are going to buy it eventually. I think when we go back to work and maybe we're doing more driving, she'll do a lot of country driving, which would be fantastic for her. And then we take these road trips once everything kind of opens up again. and that's what we're kind of looking forward to. Or if he comes out with a subscription plan, it'll probably be, I'm sure, $100 a month or something like that. Or once he rolls out full self-driving, which Elon, if you're watching, I'd be more than happy to be one of your pilot people for it. I really wanted to kind of talk about the 7-seater option. I wanted to, kind of give you some real world movements of the car, at least in the wild, so we could see the, autopilot function and some of the exciting things that we love about the vehicle. So, with that in mind, I hope you enjoyed the video. Appreciate you watching. Thanks for taking the time to, to sit back and relax and go for a ride with me. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. I hope you guys are enjoying the weather. It's better than here, maybe. At least it stopped raining. But hope you guys have a great day. Stay safe out there.